Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. I'm Ste, that is Dan Club, and Liverpool have signed Milos Kerkez. The worst kept secret in all of football is no longer a secret. Liverpool have completed the deal for the former now Bournemouth left back, and this is your Redmen React. We're going to have a chat all about it, Dan. So Mamadashvili last summer for this summer, Jeremy Frimpong, Florian Wirtz, and now Milos Kerkez. We are not even at the end of June, and Liverpool have already done some serious business, and the latest is probably one of the two positions last year that were probably Liverpool's weakest, left back and probably centre forward with a two, and they've addressed one pretty much early doors here with, again, the guy who was probably the best left back in the league last year.
Yeah, no, it's so impressive, and the Hungarian revolution goes on, doesn't it? Liverpool Dutch lads have already in situ. We're now sort of getting an influx of Hungarians as well. Obviously, the Pexi keeper has arrived as well. So yeah, it's good. I'm elated with the signing. You look at the left backs that were sort of prominent in the Premier League last season, and he was front and centre really of the conversation. And what makes that all the more remarkable is just how young he is, and just how new he is to the Premier League, really, because it feels as though, yes, you are signing one of the best Premier League left-backs there is out there, but not only that, there's so much more to come from as well. You're not getting him at 26, 27, and he's right in the prime, and he might do a job for 2, 3, 4 years, whatever. You're getting him at the start of his journey. Like, this is only going to get better for him. So, yeah, it's massively exciting. You mentioned the bids that Liverpool have done already, and we've gone out there and done it early. We've done it in advance of pre-season, and lads aren't even thinking about going back to the Axe yet, and we've signed all these players. So yeah, it's absolutely stunning business once again by the Reds. And you said it as well there, Steve. Like, you look at what was upgradable from a Liverpool point of view. There wasn't much, let's be honest, but this was definitely one of the key positions where we need to do something, and we've done it.
Let's talk about the player then, Dan, because it's been quite the rise for him. So I know it feels a long time ago, it wasn't, but like he makes his like professional debut. It's around like COVID times. Now Hungary were a bit lax with their rules, weren't they? You know, so I think they just carried on playing. But in around January 20, I think it was, give or take, he makes his like professional debut over in Hungary. He gets picked up by AC Milan, goes there, doesn't really get a look in, plays a little bit for the youth teams and stuff, goes out to AZ Alkmaar, plays there for a year, goes to Bournemouth, has effectively 2 seasons, and now he's a Liverpool player. So it's been quite the rise from making your debut in 2020 to signing for Liverpool in 2025, and he's only 21. Like, that's some rise for that. Again, that shows the sign of progression. The curve has gone really, really steep, that one for him. Yeah,
definitely. But obviously, you know, you're right in many ways, but also in look at the fact that move to AC Milan would have been sort of his dream move, you would imagine, to go from a relatively unknown Hungarian club to AC Milan, and that doesn't really happen, doesn't really work for you over there. So he might have been sort of questioning himself. I know I spoke to a former teammate of his recently, and he told me that during those COVID times when he did sort of first start training with the first team and did sort of get a look in, he wasn't quite sure whether he wanted to be a footballer at that point. So it's been quite an interesting journey. You mentioned his age there. Even now, so early in his career, he's already like overcome a couple of little bumps in the road, I think it's fair to say, because when COVID was a thing and football wasn't really football and life wasn't really life, seemingly he wasn't sure he wanted to be a football player. So yeah, it's not been all straightforward, hasn't all been plain sailing, because I think had it have been plain sailing, he'd have gone to AC Milan and just play for AC Milan loads, but he never, you know what I mean? So it's testament to who he is as an individual, his character, his mentality, that he's managed to sort of regroup, reset himself, get that move to Holland, get that move to Bournemouth, and show his true colours, which he's done. And now, of course, back in dream move territory at Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. He was in the Premier League fans voted player team of the season, by the way. He got himself into there at age 20 and 21. It's been quite the rise. Let's speak about him as a player first. And what's he going to bring to Liverpool? Because I always see a lot of talk about Milos Kerkez, and loads of people talk about his attacking attributes. And, you know, he gets the ball forward. The goal at Newcastle always gets referenced. Mm-hmm. He's a very good crosser. I always see him more as a defensive fullback who can get forward. It reminds me, again, you don't always want to compare players across areas, but it's not that dissimilar really to an Andy Robertson player. I think his best attributes actually are probably defensively. Robertson was brilliant bombing on, getting them crosses in. But he was defensively solid first. It feels like with Kerkez, that's more his game. Would you agree, or do you see it different way?
There's definitely similarities between him and Andy Robertson. That's an absolute no-brainer of a comparison to make for me. 1v1 defending wise, I think he is very, very good. What he has in abundance, and this has been said a million times over, this isn't new information to anybody, is energy. He is absolutely relentless, because you're right. So he will get up and do his attacking work, but in equal measure he will get back and put a shift in defensively as well. Make sure he's in position, make sure he's where he needs to be when we're getting attacked upon. So yeah, I think he is a very well-rounded somewhat complete. He'll have areas in his game he will want to improve and develop. He'll be looking to the likes of Andy Robertson, providing he sticks around, Kostas Tsimikas as well, and others around the Premier League to learn from and get better, because again, he's not finished yet. He's not the finished article. He's still only 21, as we mentioned. So, yeah, but I think you're right. I think ultimately this is somebody who has got sort of most areas covered when it comes to what you want from a modern day fullback, because his delivery is wonderful, defensively solid as well. He's got an eye for goal as well, clearly, as you mentioned there with the Newcastle goal away. So progressive passing, carries the ball strong. So yeah, I think we are signing a bit of a mirror of Andy Robertson, but 4 or 5 years ago, and Andy Robertson that had legs, and Andy Robertson that had energy to give, but one which possibly Andy Robertson wasn't getting this sort of move age 21. You know what I mean? Like, he was still finding his feet really in professional football. Milos Kerkez has got himself into a position whereby Liverpool are willing to spend upwards of in and around £40 million on him, age 21. That's frightening.
I was going to say, Bournemouth only paid around 15, 16 million quid for him in 2023. So again, they've cashed in. Their model's working well. They've sold like £90 million worth of footballers this year already, and there's more to come. You would think with all the links that are moving around their players. One thing I did want to speak about, by the way, and I don't know if it's been touched upon so much in other places or whatever, but like, he started every game last year. Like, he played every single one of Bournemouth's games last year. This availability thing is absolutely key. Obviously, we know Arne Slot. Well, we think Arne Slot isn't much of a rotator. It may be that he will more next year, but like, he likes his lads and he wants his lads to be his lads. And Milos Kerkez was able, Bournemouth had horrendous injuries. There was times when, I remember them playing us, and they were all sat in the stands watching on, like 15 of the players or something, and Milos Kerkez played every single game. He's that robust nature to him as well. He's played in his senior career already upwards of like almost 150 odd games at the age of 21. Like, he's certainly got that robust nature to him, which Arne Slot clearly wanted. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, ironically, one of the positions Arne Slot did rotate a lot last season was left back. I'm not sure whether that was because he wanted to, or if he just wasn't sure who was the best option over there.
I still think he could afford to play Andy Robertson. I think he'd want to play Andy Robertson every game if he could. He just couldn't, because, like you mentioned, his legs weren't quite at it.
Yeah, maybe it was that. Yeah, maybe, like I say, but I think he wasn't quite as sold on him, and maybe Tsimikas was outperforming himself a little bit. But you're right, ultimately on Kerkez, like, that durability, that availability is an absolutely exceptional trait and characteristic to have in your game, and especially when you consider again the manner in which he plays the role, because he's not like, sitting back wondering what might happen. He's up and down all day long, all game, 90 minutes plus. He is giving it he's leaving everything on the pitch every single time, which might just be a Hungarian thing looking at Dom Szoboszlai. So yeah, the fact he's able to do that and put an absolute shift in and leave all his energy out there and still play every single game is testament to his fitness, the bench and durability, and the way he looks after himself away from the pitch as well, you imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, to be fit for every single Premier League game, fair play to him, that's some going.